Imagine dying unexpectedly like Malcolm-Jamal Warner, and instead of your spouse and your mother leaning on each other for support, they actually get into a court battle, fighting over every dime you had, and there are little children involved. Now, suppose this all could have been avoided. It could have, if Malcolm-Jamal Warner had acted.
1 year after Malcolm-Jamal Warner's tragic death at 54, his widow, Tenisha Warner, is taking legal action in Georgia and California over his family trust and what she alleges are at least $1.3 million in unfulfilled financial obligations. Court documents obtained by E! News July 21st show Tenisha filed a creditor's claim against Malcolm's estate and a related civil lawsuit against his mother, Pamela Warner, in her capacity as trustee, as well as a separate California petition involving the Warner Family Trust. In the Georgia actions, Tenisha alleges Malcolm failed to fulfill several financial promises stipulated in their May 2022 premarital agreement, including his alleged promise to maintain a $1 million life insurance policy, naming her as the sole beneficiary, something she says he never purchased or maintained. She also alleges he failed to make annual tax-free payments of $16,000, fund a Roth IRA for her, or pay her a $5,000 monthly salary for serving as his chief of staff. In total, Tenisha is seeking at least $1,276,000, including $1 million for the life insurance obligation, more than $50,000 in anniversary payments, $30,500 for the Roth IRA, and $195,000 in allegedly unpaid salary. And that amount could increase as the filings also cite an additional life insurance obligation and a college savings plan for the couple's 9-year-old daughter. Separately, in the California petition filed July 17, Tenisha is asking the court to declare her an omitted spouse, entitled to a statutory share of Malcolm's 1996 trust, which he created when he was 26, unmarried, and had no children. Under the trust's terms, 70% of its assets would go to Pamela, 15% to Malcolm's father, and 15% to his half-sister, leaving no specific provision for Tenisha or their daughter. Tenisha is asking the California court to preserve the trust's assets, prevent further distributions, order a full accounting, and allow the trust to cover any awards she may receive in Georgia if Malcolm's estate does not have sufficient assets, which she alleges may be the case. In a statement to E! News, Tenisha said in part that she spent the last year attempting to privately settle her husband's complicated estate and honor his final wishes. She says Malcolm intended to provide for her and their daughter, but died before he could finalize a new estate plan to replace the one created in 1996. Tenisha added that she has been struggling as a single mother and her daughter's sole provider, and felt she had no choice but to take legal action before any potential statute of limitations expired. Malcolm tragically died in a drowning accident while vacationing in Costa Rica on July 20th, 2025. E! News has reached out to attorneys for Malcolm's estate but has not heard back.
All right, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, this whole situation, it's really a textbook example of how quickly good intentions can crumble because life happens faster than you might anticipate. Okay, so look, we got 3 quick points here that will help you avoid the situation. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, I don't know these celebrities, but he presented as a nice guy, a family man, all that good stuff. But a lot of times us guys think that, you know, eh, we're somewhat immortal. We're not going to check out anytime soon. But look, this guy drowned, right? Unexpectedly. And here we are. So the first point, do it now. Okay? When he made these commitments to his wife, and now there's a young child there in the mix, do it now. Whatever you're going to do with your will, your estate, your insurance policies, do it now. Now, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, of course, was a staple in the entertainment industry. He had a very successful career. Right? First time I ever saw him was as Theo Huxtable on the Cosby Show. Right? He'd done other shows and he'd done a lot. Okay? Reportedly making about $700,000 a year, doing very well for himself, a multi-million-dollar net worth. But He put together a trust long before he ended up getting married and having a child. Okay. He was 54 years old when he died. Young. I'm 54 years old. So, look, the second point is you got to update your trust and beneficiaries. You just have to do it. You go out there and you create this estate plan one time. That's not enough because your life is constantly having events that will warrant the adjustment of that document, right? So your outstanding trust that you got way back in, the mid 90s, let's say, uh, it's just as dangerous as no trust at all if you don't update it. All right, so Malcolm-Jamal Warner created his family trust in 96. He was 26 years old. He got married, of course, decades later. He died again when he was 54, had a child, right? Signed the prenup, but he never updated the 1996 trust document or the beneficiary designations. So when he died, his money legally belonged to the 30-year-old trust that didn't recognize the wife or the daughter. He never changed it, at least not in time for his untimely demise. So, marriage, birth, divorce, deaths, major purchases, okay, these are life events. They require immediate audit of every primary and contingent beneficiary on insurance policies, trusts, what have you, bank accounts, 401ks. A prenup does promise money on paper, but a beneficiary form determines who actually gets paid by the institution. See, Malcolm-Jamal Warner went halfway. On the last rule here that we can talk about in retrospect, hindsight is 2020. Again, that prenup is a legal contract, but it's not a payout mechanism. So it's got to mirror the actual estate documents. The prenup tells the court what you agreed to do. An estate plan, like wills, trust, insurance policies, those are all contained in that estate plan. That's the engine that actually gets it done. So if your prenup says, I will buy a $1 million life insurance policy for my spouse, but you never open the policy, your spouse doesn't automatically get $1 million from thin air, of course. They end up having to sue the estate, in this case, the family, to get the money that was promised. So never treat a prenup as a standalone document. The moment that a prenup is signed, your estate attorney must then immediately draft the corresponding trust provisions. Buy the insurance policies. Okay, Malcolm-Jamal Warner didn't buy the policies that he promised. A $1 million policy? It's nothing. It's nothing, especially for a gentleman making $700,000 a year. You have to fund the account specified in the prenup agreement. And if the prenup and the estate plan, if they don't match and mirror each other line by line, well, you are going to set your spouse up and your family up, your child up for a costly and caustic family battle. It's not going to be good, especially for the child, right? This is going to create potentially a lot of acrimony between the surviving spouse and the mother-in-law, the sister, the father-in-law, and potentially create tension that the child can feel as well. How do you avoid all this? Listen, our company, Health Wealth Link, we handle these things. Here's a commercial that we put together to lighten the mood a little bit.
Good morning.
Life is unpredictable. One moment, you're going to work.
I need to wash my car.
The next moment, rabid bobcat.
Oh my God, the bobcat! Oh my God! Get out! Get out! Get out!
Go!
It's the beat!
No!
Get out! Lindsay! Watch out!
We can get life insurance for anyone,
Watch out! Watch
including him.
the bobcat attacked my wife! A bobcat!
All right, so simply put, do it now, update the past documents, and then sync those documents in order so that prenups can result in payouts without costly legal action. I wish the best for his family. I hope they can solve this without a lot of tension.